Hello, crafty friends. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. And Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Can you believe it? It is our Christmas release at Tailored Expressions. I can't believe it because yesterday was 85 degrees and today is much the same. So we get to live the holiday twice as card makers, and actually I kind of love that. We get to purchase and create ahead of the holiday so that we can share joy with our loved ones on the actual holiday. And then there's the decorating that happens somewhere in between, and we get to celebrate it maybe more than twice. So I hope you're ready to kick off the holidays this year, and we are super excited about it. So as you're hopping on today, say hello. I would love to, especially here, if it is your first time tuning in with us live. Let me know in the comments because I want to say a special hello. Of course, we have comments flying by. I like to try to say hi to a few people. And good morning from Omaha. Nancy says hello. Hi, Bobby, up in Minnesota. Bobby, you had some gorgeous cards on the fan page this week. Fabulous. I always love seeing your projects. And hello, good morning. Sally's out in Michigan. Danetta in New Hampshire. Hello, Linda in southeastern Iowa. You are probably getting the same weather that we are here in central Iowa. It has been uncharacteristically warm. It likes to trick us into feeling like we're going to get this beautiful, like summery fall weather the rest of the year, and then all of a sudden it turns super cold. Many of you know we have Stamp Joy coming up in less than 2 weeks. 2 weeks? I have lost track. About 2 weeks. I know many of you have the countdown probably down to the minute of when you'll be here for Stamp Joy, but we've been talking, it would be great to dial up some of this weather that we're having now for Stamp Joy, but we also live in Iowa, so we know it can change on a dime. One day it's 85, the next day it's 50. So we'll see what we get, but everybody who's coming, cross your fingers for great weather. So hello in California, Stephanie. Sue is here. She already got her order placed this morning. Awesome. Bobby's got 90s in the forecast, and it can also snow this time of year. I know we were talking about Stamp Joys in the past. Some years we have loaded and unloaded our truck in the sleet and rain and wind, and we're just hoping for not any of those things. So hello, Carrie in Minnesota. Tina up in Alaska. Hi, Amrita. We have, yes, Francis is here. Hello, Anne Marie. Yes, Amrita says next week is Stamp Joy. It is. So today's Tuesday, so I guess it's not really 2 weeks. It's like a week and a half. Y'all will be here. Next week, Thursday, we are kicking it off, and so excited. So we have big things for all of you today. If you've already tuned in on our website this morning or checked out our newsletter, you have seen what's new at Tailored Expressions, and it is all about the holidays. And I love this time of year. It is the biggest card sending time of the year, whether you're a handmade card person or you're just, sending photo cards. This is the time of year when the most cards go out, and so I think it's really our time to shine, to send a little something different than what people are going to be getting in their mailbox, and so I love it, and we're excited about the products that we have to share with you. Because this is our biggest release of the year, I wanted to share more samples with you. We've gotten some more in from the design team since we did our product reveal over the weekend. And so I'm going to go through and share some of those pieces of inspiration. You can always find them on our website as well. If you click into the products on the website, it will give you some samples in the gallery. So make sure you're doing that. Also, really exciting new feature on our website. You can actually easily download the inspiration directly from the gallery on our website. There's a little icon in the top corner, the top right corner of the photograph, and that is your download button. So just click on that and it'll pull up a box and save it directly to your device. So a fun thing that just kind of went into effect more recently, I think just last week. So all right, let's get started. Are you ready, Whitney?
I'm ready for Christmas.
Ready for Christmas. All right, we are gonna, as I said, talk through a little bit of our holiday release and show you guys some more samples. As always, we have a special freebie just for our holiday release. We have our Ho Ho Holidays 2. If you participated in our Christmas release last year, then you might remember the original Ho Ho Holidays. I'm going to show you those images here in a second. It is available on our website. And then this one will be available free with purchases of $100 or more. We'll get you the layering stencil and then the coordinating dies with purchase of $200 or more. So if you get a purchase of $200 or more, you're getting both of these items. So very exciting freebie. We have, as I mentioned last year, we had our original Ho Ho Holidays that featured Santa Claus and Santa's sleigh stacked with presents. So I decided to pull that out and make a whole set of cards using last year's Ho Ho Holiday set plus this year's Ho Ho Holidays 2. And I backed each of these cards with our Foilet Essential Patterns Holiday. I love those. You can see that glitter and glitz in the background. So you can get a whole fun card set out of those. And I think this Nutcracker might be the most loved item in the release. I saw a lot of people excited about that over the weekend. So, all right. I see Melissa said she decided to wait for today's live before finalizing her order. That's awesome. We've got lots of new stuff to show. So always good to tune in for crafty time. One more thing with the Ho Ho Holidays, I wanted you guys to see this set of rainbow goodness from Emily Midlowski. I love how she always takes things in a rainbow direction. And she used the same foilet pattern in the background, but she didn't foil hers, which I thought was really fun because she foiled the actual characters. So we do have a matching foilet for this stencil that you can purchase separately. If you do earn that stencil, then you can purchase the foilet that goes with it. So super fun. Let's talk through some of our curated product bundles. And as with all of our product bundles, we've put things together to make it easy for you to click one button and get everything you need to make a certain motif. But you can also pick and choose. If you like something from the Oh Christmas Tree collection and also the Postmarked collection and the Holiday Greenery, you can mix and match. So this is Oh Christmas Tree, and Heather's actually going to be live on, not live, she's going to be on our YouTube channel creating these 5x7 cards, which I think is really a fun way to create Christmas cards. You can see the size difference in the A2 card on my right hand and then the 5x7 here. So the additions to this Oh Christmas Tree card kit that we originally released in July allow you to add a little pot and some ornaments and a fun star. I think this one was Jill. Is that? Oh no, that's Lori. Lori created this adorable rainbow Christmas tree with the rainbow snowflakes in the background and lots of glittery accents. So super cute. So that's the Oh Christmas Tree collection. Then we have our Postmarked North Pole collection. And this one might look a little familiar if you were part of our combo club that just ended in September. This was actually started in our August combo club. We had our first Postmarked set, and this Postmarked is designed specifically with Christmas iconery, and I think it's so fun. You've got the Christmas tree, presents, ornaments, snowflakes, mittens, all kinds of things that you create with the stencil, and then you can also die cut them and create your card layouts with the die cut pieces as well. And then both of these cards are foiled, so there is that coordinating foilet, and then you can use the stencil over the top. So many options with this, and I think super adorable. This one, I think this one is Emily. Foiled in red. She added glitter paste over one of the layers so you get extra sparkle there. And fun sentiments to go with this collection too. This one is Emily's in rainbow as well. She really had fun with that rainbow shattered glass foil this time, which I think is super fun. And also, Lori created this set of matching cards. Are these not the cutest things ever? I love her color combination. This one looks like a postcard. It uses our new Outgoing frames rotating stencil set, which I'm going to use on the live today. I'm excited to show you how that works. and how she made this look like a postcard. This is where your kind of address area would be. She's got the 2 little stamps up in the corner. She decorated her envelope, and it's actually a card and not a postcard. So super fun, right? And then we have that new sleigh that's actually part of our holiday greenery collection, but I love how Lori added little postal pieces inside the sleigh with the greenery. I think that's another fun way to use those postage pieces with the sleigh. So cute. And then you guys saw this one that has the foiled background, how she cut out one of those and popped it up to kind of give it a little kind of focal in the center there. So super fun. Love them all. Yes, and Diana says she loves the color of my nails that coordinate with my desktop tools. Well, it is almost time for Stamp Joy, and so we had to go with the teal nails for sure. No, it's not a hint for this Thursday, Amrita's asking. And we do have a new color drop happening this Thursday, but this nail color is for Stamp Joy, not a hint for Thursday. So you'll have to tune in. We will have that color guessing game happening tomorrow on our fan page, Fans of Tailored Expressions on Facebook. So tune in there and you can get a first look at the color and make your guess. All right, the final bundle we have is our Holiday Greenery collection. This card made everyone swoon when we showed this over the weekend in our product reveal. Heather's gorgeous card combining all of these elements from this collection. So you've got the beautiful sleigh, the poinsettia dies, and then the additional greenery. The sentiment set, which is called Mini to Mighty. I'm going to be using that on my project today too. And I just love how this turned out. And then with the Mini to Mighty theme, one of my goals was to create a sentiment set that had the same sentiment in multiple sizes. So that's what Mini to Mighty is. It includes Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and Seasons greetings in small, medium, and large sizes. So you get all 3 sentiments in all 3 sizes, along with a die set that coordinates if you want to grab that. And sometimes you need a different size for all your different projects. And so we most typically use those 3 sentiments during the holidays. And so I wanted to have something that was sized for all different types of layouts. So on this set of cards, I created a different project using each sentiment to just give you some ideas of how each of those either holds the focal in the center, provides kind of a grounding for a small bit of greenery, or pops into the center of a wreath. So very, very fun. And then we got this card as well. I believe this was Emily. Yes, Emily Midlowski created this one. I love how she blended color onto the white cardstock here, which really gives it that glow in the center of the poinsettia. And over the top of dark cardstock is one of my favorite things to do, and that's actually what we'll be doing on the live on this card that I created with a little something postage related. So we're going to combine some older products with some of our new Holiday Greenery collection. We're going to talk about glittering all the things, adding splatter, using that Outgoing frames, rotating stencil. So super, super fun. I saw a question fly by about the winners of our birthday bingo. So we did have our birthday celebration last week, our virtual birthday party that many of you attended. And those winners have now been posted on our Fans of Tailored Expressions Facebook group this morning. And so definitely check that out. You might have a store credit waiting for you to spend if you were one of our lucky winners. So last but not least, this is a new idea that we are exploring. We decided Christmas was the perfect time to kick this off. So this is our ready-to-make Christmas card kit. And this is perfect for someone who maybe doesn't have a lot of time, likes to have the design done for them, maybe is just starting out and doesn't have a lot of card making supplies, but wants to do something handmade for their Christmas cards. So we have put together everything that you need in order to create these cards, including right down to the gems, the pre-cut pieces to create this particular layout, the blender brushes and ink colors that you need in order to stamp these as well. So check out the Ready to Make Christmas card kit. It includes, as I said, all of the supplies to make this project, along with the cut pieces and envelopes to make 20 cards to send. We do have additional cut pieces packs that you can purchase of the prepped materials. So let's say you want to make 40 cards, you could buy the Ready to Make kit and then add on the refill pack so you can make 40 cards instead of the 20 that are included in this. So we'd love to hear your thoughts on this Ready to Make idea, and if it's something you're finding valuable or that you have friends that you can introduce to this craft using a concept like this. It's something that we're very passionate about, kind of making it easy for people to enter this hobby that we feel like is not only therapeutic for ourselves, but such a blessing to others too. So get somebody else involved in card making with Ready to Make Christmas card kits. Okay, let's get crafty, right? Okay, that was a lot of talky, but I'm excited to do some Christmas card making with you. And this was a card, I'm not really sure how it came about. I was chatting with Whitney. I actually told her this was her idea, and she was like, no, that was not my idea. But sometimes when you're just chatting with somebody about, oh, I could do this, and I think she was like, well, you could try this, and already my brain had gone 10 steps down the track. And this is where it went. So finally I was like, okay, Whitney, I have the idea. You can stop talking now.
Because I often just keep talking.
Yes. And so, yeah, we had fun chatting about this, and I'm excited about how it came together using that holiday greenery and some of our other products that have been really popular, that postage stamp look. We have those outgoing frames, and that's what I'm going to use first. So this is a set of 2 stencils that these are both rotating stencils, and they're used independently of each other. So this is actually 2 different stencils. We're going to use this one that creates what I call the airmail stripe around the outside edge of the frame. And this will allow you to get 2 different colors, just like Lori did on her project. So in order to do this, you would simply line this up, and you can see if I do it on Lori's project, you can see how she stenciled the pink. And then if we rotate it 180 degrees, you're going to find that you can stencil the opposite color. Of course, you need to wash your stencil in between and then apply a second color. Now with my particular project, I didn't want to draw too much attention to that outer border, and so I actually did the border in the same color. So we're going to do it once this way, and then we don't have to wash our stencil. We'll rotate it, lay it down again, and do it in the same color. So the same is true of the second frame. This one has one portion of the outer edge of a postage stamp frame. And I think I've got one of those samples in here as well. So by rotating this, you can see you have first apply one color, rotate 180 degrees, line it up in the corners, and blend the second color. So those are called the Outgoing Frames Rotating Stencil Set. And I'm going to start with my card base. So this is Toffee Card Base Top Folding A2. And I am going to tack that down with a little bit of removable tape. And then we're going to actually put a little bit of this on the inside to hold it flat. I like to use the markings on my glass board for this, but also following along with that etch line around the outside of the stencil. That part is really going to help you when you take this up and rotate it to make sure that you're putting it down in exactly the right spot again. So take that outer edge, line it up. You can also use those guides on your glass board to line up the 6x6 stencil. I'm going to grab for a little bit of teal tape here. And we'll start our blend with Toffee ink on Toffee Cardstock. On the rotating postage, looking stencil, does it match up with the postage stamp dies? It was not designed to go with the postage stamp dies. No. If you look at this, the frame around the outside has a little bit larger a notch, I guess you would call it, than the actual stacklet die. However, what it does coordinate with is our A2 layer stacklets and additional A2 layer stacklets, so you can cut something to pop up inside of the frame. So hopefully that makes sense. Good question, good thoughts, but you don't actually want to cut out that stenciled artwork with the die. The actual design of the size of the notches is different than the actual die set. So tone on tone here, and then we get to do the fun part of rotating this. Okay, we'll keep our teal tape on there. Again, I don't have to wash my stencil because I'm going to use the same color to fill in the rest of them. And the way that I'm doing it, one single stencil with all of the openings cut would work, but the rotating option gives you the option to fill in the stripes with two different colors more easily. So even though I'm not doing the dual colored border, that was the main purpose of doing the stencil in the way that we did. Okay. So I think this is the $1,000,000 question. When do you start decorating for Christmas? We'll probably talk about it later this season when we get a little closer. I know some people are like before Thanksgiving and some are like right after Thanksgiving.
Right?
So when do you like to decorate for Christmas? And when are you starting your Christmas cards? I know some of you do them like year round and sort of add a few cards every month to your stash. Or are you starting now as soon as you get your new Christmas goodies? All right, so this is what that looks like after we did that. I'm going to rub off that adhesive from the back of the card and from the inside where we used a little bit of that removable adhesive. So just rubbing it with your finger will take those little adhesive dots off. And then we'll go ahead and clean our surface in case we got some toffee ink on there before we start more blending. Blending and die cutting is coming next. Sometimes I do my die cutting ahead of time, but today I wanted to do some of the die cutting with you because I think these dies are really fun and kind of special. Speaking of special,
What?
I want to show them how these work. So could you take these two?
Yes.
Even though I'm not using them today, I think it would be helpful if I could show them how
I
these go
agree.
together.
Yes.
If you can cut them from green tea or
Okay.
some green. Green tea doesn't have to be, but looks like Christmas cards are already started. Many of you decorate the weekend after Thanksgiving. That is typically when we decorate. I do have to admit we're having a harder time decorating. Henry really takes a lot of interest in our tree. And, of course, when I bought Christmas ornaments, I didn't really think about Henry at 8 years old and what he would take an interest in. So we have some breakable ornaments, and he really likes to hit the tree with his golf club. So that's fun. But yeah, we're going to see about the tree. We did put the tree up last year and we ended up with about 5 broken ornaments. So, maybe I just don't worry about the broken ones. We'll replace those. Okay, so these are the dies I wanted to die cut for you. And I wanted to show you these because look at all of those etch markings. I think it really just give so much dimension just by die cutting the paper. You don't have to do anything extra. We are, of course, going to blend over the top of these, but you don't have to do anything special except for die cut them. So in this set, I am taking the second smallest die, and we are going to cut that out of Cherry Pop cardstock. And I need 2 of these, so we'll do this twice. Okay, there's 1. And 1 more. And then I'll cut the smallest piece out of a different color.
A lot of people said they start decorating for Christmas after Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Which is typically when I do it as well.
Okay. We're on the same page then, Whitney.
It's really hard too because, you know, we have an after Christmas birthday.
Oh,
so
yes.
I'm putting them up as fast as I can and then taking them down.
Taking them down so you can make that birthday special.
Yes. Yes. I'm sure everyone who has a birthday post-Christmas can agrees.
Yes.
It's nice to have it down for that special, you know, someone.
Okay, well, I think we should recognize, even though we're not close to the holiday season, those of you that have holiday birthdays. Anybody watching today have a birthday around the holidays? I know that just the few people that I know that do have birthdays around the holidays, it's easy to forget those and not forget them, but, you know, busyness, and it's hard to really celebrate those. So we are going to recognize you today if you have a holiday birthday. Okay, I have die cut 2 of the smallest poinsettia and the second smallest, so Cherry Pop and Guava. And then I've got green tea cardstock, and we are going to use the holiday garden variety holiday greenery set and cut this large holly sprig. So let's do that next.
Oh, funny. Someone said they haven't put up a Christmas tree since they're pups.
Oh, you have puppies that bother your Christmas tree.
We had a kitty who would climb to the top of the Christmas tree. So I completely understand. They get like all the way up there.
Yes. All right. So there we have that piece of holly. Let me take a look at my card and make sure we've got all of our die cutting done. We did both of the poinsettias. I already did the centers. I did my sentiment. I did my numbers. So I think we're good on the die cutting. We're going to put away the die cut machine and work on all the blending and glittering and splattering. Before I move on to that, I wanted to point out, I did say this in the product reveal video, but I wanted to point out something special with this set of holiday greenery. So you'll notice that for many of the greenery pieces, there are 2 that look almost identical. So they are designed to work together. So you can see we have these 2 that work together. We've got these 2. And then these have not been tabbed apart yet, but these 2 right here also work together. So let me show you what I mean by work together. They can also be used individually if you cut them and you just want a sprig that is a little, less full. Now, if you want them to work together, we've designed them so that you can adhere this center part, the branch down the middle, and this top leaf. So if you put a little bit of glue on those pieces and adhere them together, you get a more full leaf. So here's what they look like separately. And then you're adhering that top leaf together along with the center stem piece. And the greenery fills in the opposite spaces and gives you a more full piece of greenery. So you can use it both ways. And if I can find that card that I created here, You can see that's how I created the wreath on this. I really got a nice full wreath by combining those different pieces of greenery together and giving them that fullness. So that's what I wanted to show you. Thank you for cutting those pieces for me, Whitney. And
someone's asking, if you were using a darker green, what would you use with your green tea?
Ooh, I would use Brussels sprout. That kind of matches the tone, the undertone of green tea. So I would call that the shade sequence for green tea would be Brussels. There are some really great Christmas greens that I love, though. I was going to pull out Heather's card because I think she used, yeah, Heather's uses both green tea and Brussels. So you can see both of those on there. And this up here is a little bit of sweet basil. So she threw that in there as well. Looks like green tea, Brussels, and sweet basil for her greens. I also love jalapeno.
Ooh,
for
yes.
a really nice Christmas green. If you like bright Christmas greens, then I would recommend wintergreen. Wintergreen, I pull that one out often. Okay, we're gonna do some blending of a few of our pieces here, and I'm gonna show you just a little tip. This is kind of one of those things that you probably either know about. There are other tools on the market that can help you with this, but I like to do it this way. And so I thought, you know what, maybe there's somebody else out there who would appreciate seeing this. So what I have done is this is actually the sticky side of our Post-it removable labeling tape. And I'm going to tack that down to my glass mat with the sticky side facing up. And then, of course, sticky side facing down on these pieces. And that's going to give me a surface to tack down my, my flowers while I do the blending. And what I like about this is it's disposable. So when I'm done with it, I don't have to clean it. I can use it over and over until it loses its tackiness, and then I can toss it. So I am going to start with, actually, why don't we start with no, we'll start with this. This looks good. So hold those down on that tape, and we'll tack the guava in place as well. And then I'm going to grab my blender brush and cherry pop ink, and we're going to hit the edges of all of these with cherry pop. I still like to hold my hand on it just to make sure that it doesn't get away from me. And then when it proves to me that it's fully tacked in place, then I can leave it alone. All right, and we are going to be adding a little bit of glitter to these poinsettias, so I'm making sure that I add that red color far enough in, not just right on the edges, because we are going to cover those up with glitter here eventually. Okay, and we can just pull those off. There's a little bit lighter version with the guava blending around the outside. And then we'll go ahead and do our holly. The greenery is really helpful to do this way because it has a lot of little pokey pieces that stick out and can easily get sort of snagged as you're dragging your brush across them. You don't want to rip that little center area, the branch that's less sturdy. So I'm adding that ink down at the base of each of the holly leaves and kind of dragging it upward. There's what that one looks like. And then we can just take this off. I can keep this if I've got a bunch more that I want to mass produce with later, and you can use it again until the tackiness disappears. I'm going to wipe this up really quick here. And then we're going to do one more bit of blending. I have the focal piece of my image already die cut here. This is from our A2 layer Stacklets set. It is the second largest one, die cut from Sugar Cube. And then we have this one from our A2 or additional A2 layer Stacklets. And I have it marked here. This one is the size. So it's the 5th smallest or 6th largest. So that fits perfectly inside of the postage stamp stacklet. And I'm going to take this piece. This is cut from Sour Gummy. I love a good kind of dark, moody background to pop those poinsettias off of.
Yes.
So we're going to make it even a little bit moodier by adding the Sour Gummy ink around the edges of this, leaving the center open so that it gives us that glow. It's just going to add more dimension as we continue to put splatter and stamp this. We're going to get a kind of collage look to this background piece. But first we blend. Okay. Another little spritz of some alcohol. Clean that up. And it's time to get our splatter box out.
Woo!
I'm gonna move these other pieces away so that we don't get them splattery. And I'll grab my box here. There we go. So I have a couple different splatter mediums. I have the Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White and our mini glass board that I'll be using first. So I have my number 4 paintbrush that is well loved. You can see the wood exposed there. So I'm just going to put a little bit of that medium out onto the glass board. This particular medium does need to be diluted with water before you splatter it. So we've got our dropper bottle that you can grab a little bit of water. 3 or 4 drops should be good. And I'm going to mix that around. Pick up that medium with my brush and start tapping. I start off to the side to get the first bits of the medium off of the brush so I don't get any really big splatter spots. And then I'll keep tapping till I feel like I have what I want. You can go back and grab more of the splatter medium, but I like where that's at, so I'm gonna stop and I'll just wipe this brush out. The white comes out of the brush better, easier, faster than dark splatter mediums. Usually I have to take my brush to the sink and wash it if I've used a dark medium. So we'll do the dark second. This is liquid watercolor in Chocolate Truffle, and this one does not need to be diluted. So our liquid watercolors are already diluted with water, so you can use them directly from the bottle. You can also dilute them if you are watercoloring with them. A lot of times you'll see us add water to make the color less intense. But for splatter purposes, I don't dilute it any further with water. And I'm going to do the same thing. Grab a little bit of that medium, tap that off onto the side, and then come onto the paper. Feel good about that. Okay. I'll just wipe as much as I can. I'm going to give this to you, Whitney, so we know it needs to be washed. Sometimes I grab a brush thinking that it's going to be clean because it looks fairly clean, and then nope, it has. And nothing ruins white splatter like a dirty brush. All right, let's take this piece out carefully. I'll hold it up so you guys can see my splattery background. and we've got to let that dry just a little bit. So we are going to, we're going to let that dry, and in the meantime, we're going to glitter our poinsettias, which is fun. Have you guys ever shopped at, well, okay, bad question. When you go to stores like Michael's and Joann's and Hobby Lobby that carry the Greenery for Christmas, have you seen the ones that have like frosted edges on them? That's what I wanted to create with my paper today, was a frosted looking poinsettia, a glitter tipped poinsettia. So I have a couple that I finished here, but we're gonna do this together so you guys get the full experience. Let's pull out those pieces that we blended, and I'm gonna glue them together first. A little bit of glue in the center there. Oh, I don't know why I'm picking this up. I need this. And we're just going to offset those so that the points of the smaller petals fit among the points of the larger ones. And I'm going to go ahead and tack down the centers as well while we're at it. Whitney, do you know what this weekend is?
What?
World Card Making Day.
Oh, of course I knew that. I'm going to be here with you.
Yes.
On Saturday.
We are going to be here on Saturday. We are going live for Scrapbooking Cards today. They're having their World Card Making Day event, and we would love for you to join us. So if you have Saturday morning free, you will need to check us out on the Scrapbooking Cards Today page, not on their YouTube channel, not on Tailored Expressions, but we'll get a link posted in our group as well. So those of you that are around on Saturday can tune in and see the fun project I'm going to be making. Okay, this is, just wanted to check on this, not quite dry yet. So let's keep glittering. I have a couple different types of glitter to show you that you could use for this. It might be hard to capture on the video, but I have done the left poinsettia with the Tim Holtz Distress Glitter in Clear Rock Candy. And then the right side is with Tailored Expression Sugar Cube, which I'm going to be using on the video today. Really the only difference is the right side is a little bit more sparkly. So if you like that sparkle, it has a little more holographic shimmer to it. And this one has a little more, not quite the sparkle, but still shimmers. Hopefully that makes sense. But this is what the glitters look like. So Distress Glitter in Clear Rock Candy and Sugar Cube. If I open them up, you might be able to see what I mean by a little more sparkly. But the sparkle is just hard to capture on video. So there's a look at those. Like I said, I'm going to be using the Sugar Cube glitter. So we'll grab our poinsettia, and I have my two-way glue pen. How many of you guys have this? It's an oldie but a goodie. I pull it out occasionally. We've got these at the Tailored Expression store. So if this is not something you have in your collection, it does come in handy when you want to glitter all the things because it is just a glue pen that you can run across the edge of your project or wherever you want to add the glitter. Especially if you're adding glitter to small images that you've colored. Maybe you want the hat to have a little bit of glitter polka dots. So just put a couple of dots of the glitter in the polka dots of your party hat or whatever you're coloring. And then you can see how beautiful that looks. I like to go in a couple different go at it a couple different times. So I did about half of the poinsettia there, and we'll do the other half. Just so my glue doesn't kind of dry before I get a chance to put the glitter over the top.
I like how easy that is.
Super simple. And if your glue isn't flowing as well or as much as you want it to, you can press on the tip. So it's kind of almost like a paint pen application. All right, we'll just sprinkle that, tap, tap, tap. And then this guy over here. There we have it, our sparkly frosted poinsettia. All right, I have one already done, so I'll set these aside and we can do this one later. But that is how you add sparkle. Got to put the lid back on my glue pen.
Watch, now all of my future projects will have like just
glue pen.
Yeah, frosted everything, Christmas trees and twigs
Yes.
and berries.
Frost all the things. Okay, we're gonna get out my friend Marilyn too, just in case we have any glitter mess. This is Marilyn Monrobot, and she cleans up glitter and embossing powder and anything small that you have spilled. Okay, so I think we're ready to start assembling our project. I've got my piece here. I'm gonna make sure this is dry. Is this how everybody else checks if their splatter is dry? Just like touch it. A very scientific method. Touch it and see if it's dry. All right, so I'm going to take thin foam strips and place those down here. I'm going to do one along each side, and then the third one will cut in half-ish, maybe a little less than, one side is a little bigger than the other. The thinner side I'm going to put down the middle here. And then this piece we're going to place along the bottom, cut off the excess. And then we can tack this down. Actually, look at that. I don't think my splatter is dry. I've got little splatter bits on my glass board. Just to make sure I don't transfer, let's go ahead and wipe that off. I'm just going to be extra careful not to touch my splatter yet. I think it's mostly dry. Sometimes for the lives we have to move on a little bit quicker than we would normally. So we're going to place that inside of that postage stamp stacklet, and just so I don't smear it, we're going to turn it over, press it this way. And then you can see a few little drops still, not quite all the way dry. But we are ready to start adding the rest of our elements. So that little 50 that is, I know that is not what a stamp costs these days. I am aware of that. We had to look it up. Anybody else just overbuy? I just overbuy the forever stamps, yes. And then I never quite know how much.
So I don't really keep track of where
yes.
it's at. Yeah, me too.
The last time I bought forever stamps, I want to say they were in the 60-cent range, but I think a stamp now, if you just go to the store and buy one, is like 70. I don't know. Somebody else pop in here. It's somewhere in the 70s. So that's gone up a lot.
Yes.
But I just chose 50 and die cut these numbers from our cap it off, or no, not cap it off. This is called mini caps alpha and numbers set. This is our smallest set of alpha and numbers, so it fits a lot of good places. I used it during our birthday release to personalize my daughter's card with a 14 for her 14th birthday, and I often use these little numbers. So we've got that down first. Now I'm going to place my piece of holly, and I kind of want that to come around the bottom edge here. So we'll glue that down just with regular liquid glue.
Rachel says 78 cents.
78.
Okay. We
yes.
need to go buy another roll before it goes up again.
Before we're over $1.
I always get them at like Costco, so I always lose track too. I know they have them. But I probably need to re-up.
A lot of the cards I send too are in with gifts, and so then I don't use a ton of stamps, so I'm still using up old forever rolls that I've bought long ago.
I one time bought a forever roll and then like couldn't remember that I bought one, so then I bought one like literally a month later. I was like set for life now.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Oh, that's a good idea. Mary says you could do 25 for the number, which is like December 25, like Christmas. I love that. Okay, so we're going to take and place these poinsettias then. And I like to make sure that this one is where I want it first, because obviously I don't want to cover up the number. And then this one can kind of finagle. Is that a word anybody else uses? Finagle. I finagle a lot of things. It is a word, right? I didn't make it up. I don't think.
No, I don't think it's one of your made up words.
Okay. Like doodly boops. Okay, so there's that one. Put some glue on the back of here. Okay. There we go. And then I'm going to take my little pick and place tool, and I'm actually going to pick up the ends of these smaller poinsettias and just kind of pull them up. You'll remember when I adhered them, I only put glue in the center, and that was on purpose so that I could create some more dimension on the poinsettia by pulling these leaves up just a little bit, or petals, I guess you would call them.
Ooh, I love that.
And that gives you that little extra.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're almost there. So much fun with you guys today. Okay. So look at that. Just by pulling those up, we got some really dimensional looking poinsettias. And we're going to use that same pick and place tool with a little bit of liquid adhesive in the centers of the centers. And we'll pull this in. I'm going to dump my sentiment out and pour some of our glitter drops in my little trinket tray. And then we can pick up a couple of centers and put those down. Never too much sparkle, right?
Love it.
Oh no.
What?
Did anybody figure out what my mistake was already?
Oh, did we forget the stamp?
Yeah, but guess what?
We can do it still.
Where there's a will, there's a way. So I forgot my little stamp, but I really want it in there. So I'm going to walk you guys through how to fix your mistakes. And hopefully that just means you won't make the same one that I did. So what I'm going to do here is start to protect some of my surface with a little bit of that masking tape. And I'm going to apply this with a clear block so I'll be able to see exactly where I'm going. The great part about this is if it doesn't get stamped perfectly, that's actually probably a good thing, because we want this to look a little more like a collage than, you know, a perfectly stamped image. So this is going to be where my main cancellation mark is. The cancellation mark is from our Mon Amie rubber stamp set that recently was released with our postcards from Paris, and it has those little cancellation marks on it. So make sure you do this after your splatter is dry, preferably before you adhere it down. But I'm going to go ahead and stamp one right there. And then if we kind of come up here and protect this little side over here, I'm going to stamp another one right here. Okay. And then this might be the tricky one, but we're going to do it. I wonder how well I glued these down, because you might be able to get a little bit of this up so that you could stamp a tiny little piece of it under here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to just fold this little guy back up just like that. And then we're going to go like this. Okay, you guys are going to do it so much better when you make this, but we made it work. We got the cancellation marks in there, which I think just adds to the whole postal collage look. And I didn't want to leave it off. So thanks for traveling down that path with me.
Should we give this card away?
Okay.
Yes.
I get to
have a question.
Okay.
Friends.
Well, do you want to you're doing it right now?
No, we can wait.
No, we can do it right now. That's fine.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just want everybody to know when we give away one of our cards, Whitney will ask a question and then you guys answer it and then we'll come and choose a winner and send you the card that we made today. So
yes.
Get
and
your...
If our friends on replay are watching, I won't pick a winner until Friday.
Okay.
So they have a chance to kind of see, because I know everyone watches at different times.
Yes, so leave your comment in answer to Whitney's question, and then we'll pick a winner, and I get to send my first Christmas card in October. Woo! So then I can feel like I'm ahead. This will be the only time I can feel like I'm ahead. So you're going to get Taylor's first Christmas card if you're the lucky winner. Okay, Whitney, what's the question while I finish up the card?
What is your favorite product in this release?
Oh.
So of the new products, I know it's hard, but I always like to hear what everyone gravitates towards.
Yes.
Are you loving the Postmarked? Are you loving
You
the
can say
Greenery?
collection too. If you don't want to pick just one product, you could say your favorite collection.
There's no wrong answer. So
No.
yes. We just love to hear.
The only wrong answer is if your product is not in this release. Just kidding. We will accept your answers and just love to
send it out.
Yeah.
We love sending out our cards.
Okay, so we're going to put this Noel on here. This actually, I already did this, obviously, stamped it in Versamark and embossed with white embossing powder and die cut it. This is from a previously released holiday set called Merriest Christmas. And I just loved how that kind of old, flowy, swirly, scripty font looks with this. And I always toy with whether I like it up here, but then I think it fights with this, so I want it down here. So pop that down over the holly leaves. And then we're going to add a few more pieces of thin foam to the back of our postage. Okay, that doesn't want to work with me today. And then we'll pop this up. So if you are keeping track, I popped up with thin foam twice. So both the white piece and the sour gummy piece are popped up with our thin foam tape, which adds different layers of dimension without getting too thick. That's what I love about our thin foam. It's 1/32 of an inch thick. So just enough dimension to create that effect on your card without getting too thick for mailing. All right, there it is, the card that's going to be in someone's mailbox soon. I love it. Awesome. Well, you guys keep leaving your comments. And again, replay watchers, feel free to leave those comments later. We will draw that winner. Typically when we draw those winners, Whitney posts them in the comments section of the video for which we were doing the drawing. Or you will just be surprised when the card ends up on your doorstep in your mailbox. So awesome. Thank you guys for joining us today for our most wonderful release of the year. I always love the holiday release and I hope you did too. As I mentioned earlier, I will be live on Saturday for Scrapbooking Cards Today. We will pop a link for that into our Facebook fan page, but you can also find that on YouTube on the Scrapbooking Cards Today channel. I will be live, I think it's 10 o'clock Something like that.
Yes, 10 o'clock Central Time.
Okay.
Yep.
Is it 10 Central or is it 10 Eastern?
10 Central, 11 o'clock Eastern.
Okay, 10 o'clock Central. We love the 10 o'clock time frame. It's our usual. So also plan on Thursday this week. Susan will be live and we have that new color drop. So the first Thursday of every month is a new color. So Susan's going to be sharing a project using our new Christmas collection with the new color. Very excited to hear your guesses tomorrow. I'm going to guess, I'm going to predict that not many of you have heard of what the color name is going to be because I hadn't. So we're going to have a little educational lesson on Thursday when I join in with Susan to talk about where this new color fits in our collection and what we are loving pairing it with. So can't wait to see you guys on Thursday for that. And until then, have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye.